most of it's road, and then you go into compressed sand, and then some of the sand is just like normal sand. Put my number the wrong way. And the under 12 race I just had to restart because the computer broke. I'm starting in a different place to everyone else because there's 4 people in the team and I'm the 4th person. But there's 4 different start places and we all go off different times. It's pretty much a road race. But yeah, it's really weird. See there. Found out my rollers are broken. So I can't do a warm up on rollers either. So I'm just going to have to ride up and down the straight. Which isn't very good, but oh well. So here's my sister. On a really small old Isla bike that used to be mine. That she raced for the first time, and then here's my start. I think I was one of the only under 14s in my, because I was number 4, so they were all under 16, so they all just destroyed me off the start of the sprint, and I was in the front group of 3, and then this is one of the big tarmac sections, and then you go into the warehouse, and it's also tarmac, and you get onto here. I crashed on here. Yeah, I crashed on the second lap, but we didn't get any videos of it. Like where I just put my leg up there. I pretty much did that, but instead of balancing myself, I just fell on the floor. And then here is a really tight course, and it's just, because people go off at different times, you get traffic within about a minute, and I was just being held back so much. And these little gaps were opening up between us just because, look, someone can go down the inside of someone and there's no space for you to do that, so you get stuck behind. Just half a second for each person who you're overtaking adds up to a lot. And then this is one of the gravel sections. There's a little spiral, it's really strange. And then in the sandy section. And I'm just catching up even more. I'm in second number 4 at the moment. And look at this guy, look how aero he's getting. So that's pretty impressive. And he was in a massive gear, so I just drafted behind him for ages. And then, yeah, I think he was like number 1 or 2, so I caught up and then just drafted him. And then we get into the sandy section. This is the bit that I was riding that I kept messing up. Yeah, as you can see. It's so, you go, it's like a few inches of sand on top of concrete, and it's so strange, like there's no ruts or anything, but I made so many mistakes. I crashed 3 times, and the under 16 with the green bike here had a bit of a shoulder battle. He won, but then I fell off and he fell on top of me. But yeah, so he beat me in the end because I fell off loads of times. And every single straight section, you just got to put in all as much and go as fast as you can, because as soon as you get onto the tight bits, it's just recovery, and you can't get past anymore. So you kind of, if you get stuck behind someone who's slow, then you can't do anything, because it's their race too, so they don't let you past. But it's very annoying. And then this. I rode it quite well this time, but you had to put a foot out on that section, and then there was a bit of thick sand, because it was actually slower to ride. The actual corner was slower to ride, but then after it, where it's quite thick sand, if you could ride it, then you wouldn't have to remount on the tarmac, and that made up a lot of time. And here I'm stuck behind people, and I'm just trying to overtake, and I can't. Because it's so narrow, like 2 meters in places I think, but it's impossible to overtake, so you've just got to sprint. This guy here, he's a good track rider, so he was destroying me in the straights, but then as soon as it got into the sand I was getting a bit stuck behind him. But yeah, had a good battle with him. And then, so that guy who's the first number 4, the guy who squashed me, he is a bit in front now, he dropped me. But I was catching up. And I'm just on that VCL guy's wheel. Because it was really, really windy. Like on one of the sections it was just a block headwind and you were just dying. And then in this section, you come off the rubber bit that was in the national champs. We used that, but it was really different because it wasn't completely underwater. It was actually quite slippy. Get into the sand. Because you can see that corner is completely, it's easy to ride. And then you get onto the ones with deep sand. And it's just, if it was normal sand, it would have been quite a lot easier, even if it was a bit deeper. Because some bits were hard and then some bits were just soft. And I'm just catching up with Charlie, my teammate, who's up here. Yeah, so he went quite fast for a bit. I could stay on his wheel. He's there, he's Charlie with the Trek. He dragged me along the windy section. Just stayed on his wheel while he pretty much sprinted. But that was good. And I'm just catching up to that Southborough guy. But I couldn't get him in the end. But oh well. This is inside the warehouse, the tarmac one. I'm not really sure what it was for. But yeah, the other one, the sandy one, is for horses. Which, I didn't really know horses like sand, but yeah. When you're on your own in the tight section, it's so much easier. It's so nice. But I still mess it up quite a lot. I'm not good at riding sand at the best of times, but when you get into, when it's weird sand, it's literally impossible. And then sprint finish, I got second, number 4, and then we won the under 14 team prize. But there wasn't a separate under 14 one, so we got second behind the under 16 team, which was good. So yeah, thanks for watching. Goodbye.